Hello, friendly fox, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldorius Houndenthin, will look at your commander deck's weird little PP, your PP being your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what you hope it does. Your practicum is what it actually does. It's 99, it's getting land screwed, it's getting flooded, it's not having enough card draw. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the idea behind this deck, whether or not it's achievable in bracket 3, and then we'll talk about what they have in the deck and what they can swap out to make it work. Now, the idea behind this deck is we're going to throw small guys in front of a meteor to kill them with big guys. We want to use small creatures to survive early and use them to sack to draw bigger creatures and trample enablers. I worry about not having enough plays early or not having enough ways to sacrifice creatures or good enough payoff. You should. I disagree with this idea a little bit. The only part I disagree with is the sacrificing, which is going to seem weird for anybody who knows Jenova ball knowledge. She puts counters equal to her power on another creature. That creature becomes a mutant at the beginning of your combat. And then whenever a mutant you control dies, you draw cards equal to its power. So a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Sacrificing for value is amazing. I get to play some dickhead. I get to put a counter on him. I get to sacrifice him. I draw 8 cards. How could that be wrong? If that's wrong, Malltown, I don't want to be right. And it's not wrong, but I do think for a commander like this, you want to dedicate really heavily to I am playing low mana, high power threats that I then sacrifice for an immense amount of value to then do some type of like pseudo stompy aristocrat thing. Or what you're talking about, where the end point is I'm going to play some big stuff and they're going to kill you. If you want to win through combat damage, I would be committed to combat damage basically the whole way through. Like, there are some other ways to do it, but what's beautiful about this commander, normally where a straight up and down stompy deck will fall flat is you will play a big creature, you might play some more cards to invest more power in that creature, and then if somebody removes it, if somebody else board wipes and you just get collateraled, you're fucked. You've invested all your power in that one creature. Jenova saves you because now once we invest power in that creature, we can draw, two to 12 cards, depending on the thing we sacrifice. So what I would be doing with Jenova, number one, we have to ramp. This is a 4-mana commander. If you play this on turn 4, we are in clown shoes territory. And we probably want to ramp with creatures because we want to have Jenova can't put counters on herself. We want to have other creatures. And then I would just be going threat, 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 threat. Like a lot of the things we have, we'll talk about the finishing touch later. Actually, we should talk about the finishing touch now. I think this connects to it. What you think of as finishing touch, I think of as turn 4 play. Like Aganosaur Rex, Alpha Deathclaw, like Craterhoof is a finishing touch. The rest of these are things we should be like, turn 4, I'm playing this, I'm putting a counter on it, do something about it. Do something about it or I'm eating you. Like, that's where I would try to be for this deck. And then the finishing touch is just like, I have loaded 5 dinosaurs into a catapult and thrown them at you. And every time you kill one, I draw the next dinosaur. So I would be more worried about, like, if I'm able to get people to sacrifice their important creatures to block my dinosaurs, I don't mind that much. So like trample's not overwhelmingly important to me. I think I'm one of the biggest trample underraters on the internet when it comes to MTG because you need it against the token players. If you have a token player in your pod, we definitely need trample. If we don't have a token player, this deck is very capable of always having the biggest thing. And if you always have the biggest thing, you just keep chucking big things at them until they die. They will chump block. Congratulations, they just lost a synergy engine. But again, if you have a token player, or like there are some decks with white in them that are really, really good at recursion. If you have a token deck or a really grindy recursion deck, we definitely need trample enablers, or we just need big individual threats with trample. But these are not finishers. These are things we want to do as quickly as possible. And so the thing I want to draw attention to as what I dislike for bracket 3 is a lot of the stuff happening in here, because a lot of the stuff happening in here are what are like if you think of building up your board as cooking, this is stuff that's happening in the slow cooker. For bracket 3, you have to be working in the microwave. Everything under this section is Beautiful for bracket 2. I think Forgotten Ancient we can rock with in bracket 3 as well. Um, Maybe Mossborn Hydra, but the problem with like all of these is we don't have the additional synergy that would make them really, really crazy. Like maybe Host of the Hereafter is kind of budget Ozolith, but I really don't love it. I especially dislike Hancock. We're gonna keep Master Seymour because you said you wanted to keep Final Fantasy flavor. And for bracket 3, we can definitely make Final Fantasy all of your pet cards. Um, I don't like this because he starts as a 1/1. We're not building this guy up quick enough to be a scary thing that we're throwing at people. Like we could have this on board the turn 3 when we play Jenova, and okay, turn 3, I got a 2/2. Turn 4, I got a 3/3. Watch out! Like it, and same goes for Super Shredder, who like should be terrifying, but because we're not spamming removal, like we have some, but we're not making a lot of permanents leave the field all the time. Like I got a 5/5 with menace. What are you gonna do? And we need to be playing more things that are just like, if I play this and my commander is on the field, it is now a problem for you. It is not going to win the game by itself, but you would be amazed at how much easier it is to navigate games when you can push 10 plus damage at somebody in the first 5 turns. Not swing 10 damage in one turn, but like over the course of the first 5 turns, knock somebody down to like the 20s. Maybe knock them down to the teens if you get like, Tyrannax Rex, or you get a Gonosaur Rex, you get Alpha Deathclaw early. Versus right now, we seem to be trying to build up kind of a Factorio board state, and that Factorio board state works really well if we are deep into aristocrats. But for us to be doing that, we have to be like fully committed to aristocrats, and I would not be using counter manipulation for that. I would be using things like Gerard. I would be using things like Ruthless Technomancer. Um, and I would just be using, and I wouldn't even have that many of these big guys. I would really just want like I would just need to find like 1 or 2 every game. You would be playing a very standard aristocrats deck, but the goal would be, okay, instead of having to run card draw in my 99, because aristocrats typically need to have like, they have Grim Haru specs, they have Morbid Opportunist, some of these fools are even running Knight's Whisper. You would just go, okay, I have a big crocodile. My first sacrifice is the big crocodile. I draw 8. I have enough cards to set up my aristocrat shop now. What I dislike about that for your deck is that I don't really think that will be very Final Fantasy flavored. I don't know Genova's storyline, but it doesn't seem very calamitous. It just seems kind of like, death by abacus. So I would cut everything from this section. You can keep natural order. I would cut everything else. Maybe Sephiroth, maybe Victimize. Everything else. Because even Momentous Fall is like, don't remove your threat for them, would be the headline of everything I'm going to tell you this review. Put down something that's really scary, put a counter on it, and make them deal with it. And then when they do deal with it, you get a crazy amount of value. And I know you're gonna be like, oh, but I could draw 26 instead of like 13 if I did this to Galta. It's like, you have to be, if we can't do it by drawing 13, the deck's built wrong. The deck's built wrong. There may be a world where what I would play, if you want to double dip, power doublers. So there's Unnatural Growth, there's Zapandril. These are the like greedy win more cards where that can be how we draw. Like, I'm going to pick up half my deck this turn. You might deck yourself if you get board wiped with one of these on field. So be careful. But that's how we get greedy and draw a million cards, is we go, okay, I have a 20/20 with Trample. It's turn 6, turn 7. I'm sorry, I can't stop myself. Josh, good luck. And then if Josh can deal with it, now I have 20 cards in hand, and now I can rebuild. Not Soul Ring, true. Having removal, good. Having instant speed protection, good. Breath of the Earth. No, 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 no. Yes, Final Fantasy. So what I would just do for all your ramp, I would maybe put in one more piece of ramp, but you don't need a crazy amount more. We just need enough that we can mulligan to ramp in our opening hand. It doesn't have to be on turn one. I would argue yours should be a creature because what we would like to do, I believe I saw Sphere Grid in here. I really like this. The perfect curve out for us is we go turn one, I play Llanowar Elves. Turn two, I play Sphere Grid. We're in fucking Christmas land right now. Turn one, Llanowar Elves. Turn two, Sphere Grid. Turn three, I play Jenova. I put a counter on Llanowar Elves. Next turn, I put another counter on Llanowar Elves, and I swing it at somebody who has a 3/3. Like, what? Give up my Llanowar Elves. We draw three. So either we get to start getting damage in, and we get another counter on them, or they block, and we get to draw three cards. And then we're going to hit our land drops, and then we have 4 mana anyway. And then we can start looking for like other ramp pieces, other dorks, da 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 da. And that's still going to be relatively slow. Or if swinging Llanowar Elves isn't good, we have to stick a microwave threat. We have to stick something like, as opposed to like a Ganosaur Rex would be fine. I would really, really want things that had combat damage triggers attached to them. So I think the all-time heater for this is Oher Caslam, because this is, if you don't answer this, I get every creature in my deck. You have to answer this. It's going to come back as a land. I'm going to draw 7 cards off of it. Like, this is peak for you. Is ramping into Jenova, then Oher Caslam, and then my mana dork has a counter on it, so if I get board wiped, I'm drawing cards for them as well. Versus right now, I feel like we're going to be playing Jenova on turn 4, which is the root of half of our problems. The other half of our problems is the disconnect between the Aristocrats game plan and the Beat You to Death game plan. But half of our issue is just I am playing my 4 mana commander on turn 4 in bracket 3. Oh, Tifa's also really rough because we have no way. We don't have any ways to play multiple lands in a turn. And so most of the way we're making her good is by increasing her base power by putting counters on her. And that's another slow cooker threat. Like, it will get there. You need many, many turns. So black market connections, I'll make a treasure. Oh, you sweet summer child, don't do this. Have some degree of reanimation, keep the best 7. If you want to play black or honestly green well, what you have to do is you have to learn to love the discard step. Graveyard is the bargain bin. So we're going to get a treasure, a card. I'll go commander, put a counter on her. She's a 2/3, play this. She's a 4. The 4/3 damage. Could do some. Like a turn late on doing this, but we get to do some. So we get a little bit of damage in. And then it's like, why? This is like, people don't know we can't play multiple lands in a turn. This could be a very big problem for somebody. Like, if we make this a 3-power creature, if we played a power doubler here, if we played something like Grim Hireling that ramped us and gave us removal if you let this connect, like, we can make people really fucking sweat about a 6-power Tifa when we play our land for turn. Don't remove this for them. The only reason you should be removing that threat on behalf of them is if you have a combo you are working toward. So if you want to go that like aristocratic route, I would become a combo deck, and I would be using cards like Tifa, cards like Calaxion, anything that had low mana value and high power, which we can find. You can go to Scryfall, click Advanced. Down here in the stats, you can do mana value less than or equal to 4, power greater than or equal to, and you can like change these numbers up in search, but I would be using low mana value, high power threats, sacrificing those, draw into a combo, then I win turn 7, turn 8 out of all the cards I've accrued. But if we want to like I'm just trying to get creatures down early and then beat you to death. We just have to go threat, 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 threat. You deal with it. If you deal with it, I get to draw cards. So the relevant O tag for that is going to be Saboteur. This is the an O tag for things that do stuff when you connect with a person. There's going to be one or two other cards I'm a really big fan of. I would actually, to go back on my own word a little bit, one of the few sacrifice outlets I would run is Gitrog. This is on combat damage, you can sack a creature that saddled it, which is like crew, but for mounts. If you do, draw X, put X lands onto the battlefield, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. So I could see us doing like with the Llanowar Elves thing. We have an early dork. We get Gitrog down. We can't saddle it with the dork because he only taps for one. We could if we hit like 2 dorks early. But the goal would be to like play early threat, play Jenova. Jenova builds it up. We play this guy. The thing we built up early, cruise this guy, gets eaten. We draw twice. We put 3 to 4 lands into play. And then we have so many resources that we have drawn enough other threats to just keep going, keep going, keep going. So let's look at Saboteur for other stuff that would be good. Kodama of the West Tree. You get a basic land every time a modified creature you control deals combat damage. Modified creatures have trample, 1/1 counters or modifications. This would be another really powerful way to be like, all right, I'm done with Biophagus. He's done his job. He now has a +1/+1 counter on him. Block if you must. And then either way, you get damage and you get ramp, or you get card draw, which will hopefully hit you a land drop and your new threat. You want to create this like heads I win, tails you lose situation for everybody who wants to block you. Shit like Glissa. Incredibly good self-contained threat. It's just getting bigger and bigger. You're never effectively blocking this thing. And if I get in, I'm getting additional value. There's Ohercaslam. You could do Gix if you wanted to draw just even more cards. I don't think you have to. You could do Rev to steal stuff, get treasure tokens. You could do Gonti. And none of these are things that you have to do. But we either have to give our entire board a benefit for connecting, or we have to play stuff that's really good when it connects, like Ink Eyes. We just get to steal shit out of their graveyard. So if we play a kill spell, job done. Now I know you talked about Final Fantasy flavor. So let's look at if there are creatures in Golgari that we can run that will establish this for us. Oh, Summon Titans is crazy fucking good. Crazy fucking good. We know this guy's gonna die. This is gonna big threat, big damage, is gonna ramp us, and is gonna draw us at minimum 8 cards, and he's gonna pass a buff to a different thing. Primal Odin would be very good. We play it, we threaten, you know, hey, I'm going to try to one-tap you unless you remove this. Then if you remove this, I'm going to draw 6 cards. You will lose instantly if you do Jumbo Cactuar. I don't think we can get away with Fat Chocobo. Honestly, I'm on Vincent Valentine. Like, this guy is the slowest one I would recommend, but lifelink is potent. When he dies, he doesn't even die. Like, that's great. We get to draw, even if they shoot him like a turn after we get him, we're gonna draw 4 cards and we're gonna get Vincent Valentine back. Like, that's that type of we need just relentless aggression. Ooh, you can run Torgal. There's another Final Fantasy card we can have in here. Deadass, you can run Yecht. I don't even think he's that good, but that's how much I believe in just pushing damage at motherfuckers. Because he has a combat damage trigger. He's gonna make people discard. He's gonna give us card draw. He's gonna have a big bad thing that other people don't want to have happen. And we know he's gonna die, so we know he's gonna draw you 8 cards, 9 cards, depending on how many turns depending on how many turns you bumped him up for. You can run Gabu Gardener. There's so many Final Fantasy cards we can shove in this. I don't think we're getting X-Death going. I don't think we're getting Colosseum Behemoth going. You could try to run Seymour Flux. He's bad, but I'm trying to think of like what are pet cards that are just good enough to hang in there. You know, you could, okay. If we do want to continue dabbling and sacrificing our own stuff, I do think you can get away with Gaius von Belsar, because then you can pick either like, am I happy with my threat situation? It's still really weak. This still may be a bridge too far for bracket 3, but if you're happy with your threat situation, okay, you sacrifice him. You don't lose any threats. If you're not happy, you sacrifice a big mutant, and now you draw a lot of cards and everyone else is down a creature. I think that's pretty solid. But before we do any of the fun stuff, like have to, we want 7 to 10 7 to 10 ways to ramp on turns 1 or 2, and we would prefer creatures even though that's vulnerable. And then you're going to keep Fenrir as a literal pet card, and it's going to be okay. There may even be let me look at, there's FIC too, right, for commander specific stuff. Final Fantasy Incubation Druid, that's cute. You could try Dust Shell Crawler. I really don't think it's necessary or good. Um, but you could try it. Run Bugenhagen. We want to be playing creatures that are either at this power or will get to this power relatively quickly. Rampant Rejuvenator's kind of cope, but I really want to believe in it, but I do think it's cope. This is activated abilities, which we're not doing. That's too bad. So Shadow is, I think, the last thing I would say you can try to make work with the sacrificing your own stuff. I don't think you would do this frequently, if ever, but I'm trying to reach for, like, is there any Final Fantasy card that we can try to fit into here? And this is like a guy we can play early. He's going to be a Death Toucher that we can make big. And then we can turn, like, if we're like, I have enough lands now, I don't need these mana dorks, I'll sack them for for 4 cards. If you're having trouble getting through, you can try sacking a big thing to like draw 10, make everybody lose 12. If it'd be even more than that if it's Galta. Um, but again, I would be removing my own threats as little as possible. And then for reanimation, reanimate's good. I love Valgavoth's Faithful. It's Final Fantasy cards, so you get to keep it. I would probably be more on reanimating multiple things than I would be on reanimating one. Like, I would love to do Aberrant Return, get me my 3 best creatures, Behold the Sinister Six. There is the time old Rise of the Dark Realms. But if you want to go stompy, that's the template. You get 7 to 10 creatures you can play to get Jenova down on turn 3, because we have to start stacking counters. And then we want threats we can play that just have either give all of our creatures combat damage triggers, like Grim Hireling, like Sphere Grid, which you already have, or it's just a scary guy by itself, like Ink Eyes, like Yecht, like Vincent, like these summons, like Gitrog, Oh yeah, Kodama is another Saboteur effect. And you can keep scrolling through these to find ones that I did not have time to get to. And then you create this like, I am relentless. I am advancing upon you, and whatever you do to try to stop me, I'm coming back like mold, baby. So if anybody else has different angles, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I wish you the best, and I do hope this helps.